There's a big difference between being nice and being valued. And this is where so many women get it twisted. See, being nice seems like the right move. You smile, you agree, you bend, you try to keep the peace, you go out of your way just to make sure he's comfortable and happy. You answer his text right away, you're always available. You say yes, even when you want to say, but let me tell you something, men don't respect nice. Men respect value. When you're too nice, you send a signal without even realizing it. You're saying, my needs come second. You're saying, I'll put up with whatever you dish out as long as you stick around. And that's not strength, that's surrender. Nice feels good in the moment, but it doesn't leave a lasting impression. It's like cotton candy, sweet, light, and forgettable. Valued, on the other hand, is like a diamond, solid, rare, and unforgettable. Here's the truth when you are too nice. A man learns he can lean on you without ever having to step up himself. He figures out quick that you'll bend so he doesn't have to. You'll cover so he doesn't need to carry. And once he sees that, he stops respecting your time, your energy, and even your heart. Not because he's evil, but because you've trained him to expect it. People only treat you how you allow them to. And if you keep giving your best without demanding better, you end up empty-handed. Being valued is a whole different ball game. A valued woman knows where she stands. She's not trying to prove she's good enough by over-giving, over-pleasing, or over-explaining. Instead, she's clear on what she brings to the table. And she makes sure the man who sits at that table knows it too. She doesn't run every time he calls. She doesn't say yes. When her heart is screaming, no. And she doesn't let her worth be determined by whether or not he approves. That's how you shift the dynamic. Think about it when you walk into a luxury store. Do they chase you around begging you to buy? No. They present what they've got. They stand confident in the value of it. And if you can't afford it, that's your problem. The value doesn't drop just because someone can't pay. You got to treat yourself like that store. Your time, your love, your attention. Those are luxury items. Don't discount them because somebody doesn't want to invest. Now, don't get it confused. I'm not saying be mean, rude, or cold. There's a difference between being unkind and being unavailable for nonsense. Being valued means you're pleasant, but you're not a pushover. You can be kind without being convenient. You can be generous without being gullible. The respect comes not from how sweet you are, but from how steady you are. Men lean in when they realize you're not just going to hand everything over. They know they've got to bring something to the table too. The moment you stop being nice, just for the sake of keeping a man, you give him the chance to actually rise up and meet you where you are. If he's the right man, he'll do it gladly. If he's not, he'll walk. And that's a blessing, not a loss. Because every time you let the wrong one go, you make room for the right one who sees your worth without you having to beg for it. So stop being nice. If nice means losing yourself. Stop shrinking. Stop saying yes when you want to say no. Stop excusing bad behavior because you don't want to rock the boat. Start standing. Stand on your values. Stand on your standards. Stand on the truth that you deserve respect. Because respect isn't given to those who are always bending. It's given to those who hold firm. And here's the kicker: once you step into that place of value, you'll see the shift. Suddenly, the same man who was taking his sweet time texting back is now checking in before you even notice he's gone. The one who thought you'd always wait now realizes he could lose you if he doesn't step right. You don't have to chase respect. You just have to embody value. And when you do, the respect comes automatically. So remember this: nice might get you liked, but valued gets you respected. And respect is the foundation of everything. Without it, love can't last, trust can't grow, and commitment can't be real. Be valued, not just nice. That's how you change the game. Would you like me to now expand the second keynote? Set standards. Don't settle. In the same style and length. There comes a point in every woman's life when she has to make a decision. Am I going to keep lowering my standards to make someone comfortable? Or am I going to raise the bar and let only those who can meet it stay? That decision changes everything. Because respect doesn't come from how much you give, how much you sacrifice, or how long you wait. Respect comes when you draw the line, stand on your worth, and refuse to compromise your values. A man steps up when he knows you won't step down. Here's the reality: people treat you according to the boundaries you set. If your line is shaky, if your standards are negotiable, then you're teaching him that he can slide by with bare minimum effort. He'll give you just enough to keep you hoping, but never enough to give you peace. Not because he doesn't know better, but because you've shown him he doesn't have to do better. When you settle, you invite a pattern where your needs are optional, your feelings are negotiable, and your worth is discounted. That's no way to live. Setting standards isn't about being difficult, demanding, or controlling. It's about clarity. It's about saying, this is what I value. This is how I expect to be treated. This is where I will not bend. And then, here's the important part: standing firm on it, even when it costs you something. Because a standard that you abandon under pressure is not a standard at all. It's just a suggestion. And suggestions don't get respected. They get ignored. When a man realizes you're a woman with standards, he understands he has to bring his best. He knows he can't just talk smooth, disappear for days, and then come back expecting open arms. He knows he can't keep stringing you along without a real commitment. He knows your time, your heart, and your presence aren't free passes. They're earned privileges. That realization shifts the dynamic, because men rise to the level of the expectation set before them. If the expectation is low, his effort will be low. If the expectation is high, he has a choice: rise up or fall off. Either way, you win, because the ones who aren't willing to step up eliminate themselves. Think about it like this: if you walk into a 5-star restaurant, you don't get mad at the prices. You understand the value of what's being served. And if you can't afford it, you go somewhere else. That restaurant doesn't lower its prices just to keep every customer happy. It knows what it offers, and it's confident that the right people will pay the cost. You have to be that same way about your life. Your love, your energy, your loyalty. Those are 5-star qualities. Don't lower them to bargain bin prices just because someone doesn't want to pay. Now, some women fear that setting standards will push men away. And the truth is, it will. But that's not a bad thing. That's the filter working in your favor. The wrong men leave because they're not ready, not willing, or not serious. That's good, because why waste your time dragging someone up to a level they never plan to reach? The right man won't run from your standards. He'll respect them. In fact, he'll be grateful for them because they give him a clear path to win with you. Men actually crave boundaries, even if they don't admit it. It gives them structure. It gives them clarity, and it separates you from every other woman who just lets anything slide. Don't get it twisted. Setting standards doesn't mean you're cold, harsh, or unapproachable. It means you're rooted. You're grounded in your worth. You know what you bring, and you're not afraid to let go of what doesn't match it. That energy is magnetic. It draws respect. It demands consistency. And it naturally weeds out the ones who only came to waste time. And here's the beautiful part. When you stop settling, you stop struggling. Because half the battles you fight in relationships come from you lowering your standards just to keep something alive that was never meant for you. You argue about loyalty because you accepted someone who showed you red flags early. You cry about commitment because you kept hoping someone would change who never planned to. You fight for respect because you allowed someone to ignore your boundaries one too many times. The moment you draw your line and stand firm, all that chaos fades away. So hear me clearly, don't settle. Not for half love, not for empty promises, not for part-time attention. Don't settle just because you're tired of waiting or because you're scared to be alone. You're not alone when you have peace. You're not lonely when you have standards. The wrong man might leave when you raise your standards, but the right man will only step closer. At the end of the day, respect is never given to the ones who lower the bar. It's given to the ones who hold it high and never flinch. So set your standards, stand on them, and watch how quickly you stop chasing respect and start commanding it. Do you want me to also expand the third keynote? Be clear, not convenient, in the same Steve Harvey style and 700 word depth. One of the biggest mistakes women make in relationships is choosing convenience over clarity. Too many times you'll hold back your truth, swallow your feelings, and keep quiet just to keep the peace. You don't want to rock the boat, and you don't want to come off as too much. And you don't want him to think you're difficult. So you settle for being convenient. Easy to handle, easy to please, easy to overlook. But let me tell you something convenience doesn't get commitment. Clarity does. A man may enjoy a convenient woman in the short term, but he'll never deeply respect her. Why? Because he doesn't know where she truly stands. He doesn't know what she expects, what she needs, or what she refuses to tolerate. Convenience makes him comfortable, but clarity makes him accountable. And accountability is what separates a fling from a future. When you're clear, you stop hiding behind politeness. You stop saying, it's fine, when it's not. You stop smiling when your feelings are hurt. You stop agreeing just to avoid conflict. Instead, you open your mouth and say what you mean. You say, this behavior is not acceptable. You say, this is what I want in a relationship. You say, if you can't meet me here, then this isn't for me. That kind of clarity is powerful because it sets the tone from the very beginning. It tells a man exactly how to treat you and exactly what happens if he doesn't. Now, some women think being clear will scare a man away, and yes, it might. But here's the truth. If your honesty scares him off, he was never meant to stay. The right man will respect your clarity because it gives him direction. Men don't read hints, they don't decode silence, and they don't chase vague signals. They respond to clear expectations. They step up when they know exactly what the game is. Convenience, on the other hand, is dangerous because it creates illusions. You let little things slide, and he assumes you're okay with them. You bite your tongue, and he assumes you don't mind. You keep doing favors, showing up, and giving more than you get, and he assumes you'll always be there no matter how he behaves. That's how resentment grows inside of you. Quietly, slowly, until one day you explode. And by then he's confused because from his perspective, you never said a word. Being clear doesn't mean being rude. It doesn't mean raising your voice or attacking his character. It simply means standing in your truth with confidence. It means expressing your needs without guilt. It means honoring your boundaries without apology. You can be kind and still be firm. You can be loving and still be honest. In fact, real love demands that level of honesty because without clarity, the relationship has no foundation. Think about it like driving. Would you want to be on the road with no traffic lights, no signs, and no rules? Of course not. That would be chaos. Clarity is what keeps order. Your standards and your voice are the traffic lights of your relationship. They tell him when to go, when to stop, and when to turn around. Without those signals, he'll crash into your peace without even realizing it. When you choose clarity over convenience, you also save yourself time, because instead of wasting months, sometimes years, on a man who was never going to meet your needs, you find out early. You let your truth do the filtering. If he's not ready to meet you where you are, you don't beg, you don't chase, and you don't bargain. You simply let him go, knowing your clarity protected you from a bigger heartbreak down the line. And let's be real, a man may like nice, but he doesn't commit to nice. He commits to what he respects. He respects a woman who is real, firm, and consistent. He respects the woman who doesn't change her standards depending on how much she likes him. He respects the woman who can say no without flinching, yes, without hesitation and goodbye, without fear. That's the woman who commands respect. And ultimately, that's the woman who earns commitment. So stop trying to be convenient. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into someone else's comfort zone. Stop pretending you're okay just so he won't leave. Speak your truth. Set your boundaries. Make your expectations known. Because clarity isn't a risk. It's protection. It protects your heart, it protects your time, and it protects your worth. At the end of the day, convenience may keep a man around for a while, but clarity is what makes him stay for real. Don't be easy. Be clear. Don't be agreeable. Be consistent. Don't be convenient. Be confident in your truth. That's how you gain respect, and that's how you keep it. Do you want me to now combine all three expanded keynotes into one full Steve Harvey style speech for the title? Stop being nice to men, do TIs, instead to gain respect.